Welcome back to the channel, guys. My name is Jeff Cordero, and today we are down here at Barefoot Archery in Charlotte, North Carolina, shooting some of the new flagship bows for 2022. Today, the one I'm going to be shooting is the V3X 29. This is a new offering from Mathews, which is, in my opinion, only improving what they had on the V3 from last year. They're offering it in two different sizes this year. This is the 29, and the other one is going to be the 33, when the year before it was the 27 and 31. This bow, although it is new for this year, looks very similar to the V3 of last year, but it is packed with a whole host of new features. So the new, probably the coolest, awesomest thing that Mathews have done with their new bows in any year up until this one is they have integrated the sight into the riser itself. This for me is awesome. I shoot a dovetail, so for me, I can't wait to get one and try this out and stick my HHA into the riser. But the one thing that it does do is it moves everything further in towards the center of the bows, which has been an industry trend over the last few years. Hoyt has done it with their Picatinny rail system. Mathews is now doing it with the bridge lock system. And what it does is it moves these sights and these rests and components tighter and tighter and tighter into the bow, which then leaves you with a quiver that sits super tight to the bow and starts to keep some of that weight. Because I mean, you start loading up 500 grain arrows into a quiver like this, and it really starts pushing weight counterbalance further away from center of the bow. Look how tight that arrow fits. This is the two-piece quiver. This is the tightest quiver that Mathews is going to offer. They have a one-piece quiver that it sits off just a little bit more, and that's because it has a detachable feature for it. But this two-piece fixed quiver fits so damn tight to the bow that they actually had to cut out, it's kind of hard to see, but in the hood of the quiver here, they actually had to recess it so the limb can fall in and has enough clearance to be able to shoot, which, man, the tighter and tighter they keep getting these things, the easier and better shooting these bows become because they're more balanced, they feel more comfortable in your hand, and I'm just super impressed. Some other really cool features that this bow is offering is with these new modules, they have these little tabs on them. And what these tabs are is Mathews has designed a system, and they're calling it the Stay Afield system, or SAS for short. And it is a cable that you can attach from the top and bottom of your cams and manipulate the string in a certain way to get them to come in, where you can actually take your string off of the bow if you're in the field. If you're in the field and you nick a string with a broadhead and it starts to fray and you have a spare one in your pack, you can now hook this SAS system up and replace that string and still not have to come out of the woods or go to your local bow shop. Personally, for me, this SAS system does not replace the need to go to your local pro shop and get things worked on in a bow press, but it will, in a pinch, it's a much safer option than other guys have done in the past with ratchet straps and trying to stick, I've been guilty of it, stick a Allen head or an Allen bolt in between the limb and the cam to try to relieve tension in order to change something. So let's shoot a few more arrows through this and I'll give you guys an honest feel of how this bow is. This one is 29 inches axle to axle. For me personally, this is a little bit short of an axle to axle bow than I would personally shoot. I like something in the 33 and up range. I currently shoot an RX4 Ultra, which is 34 inches, 29 3/4 inch draw length. The string angle feels comfortable. The bow feels comfortable for me. But if you are someone who hunts in a blind or someone who's smaller and has a shorter draw length, this is a great option at 29 inches. So, initial impressions on drawing this bow, it has a very smooth draw cycle, but it does have a little bit of a weird draw curve to it. It's really smooth on the front of the draw, and it starts to pick up poundage until you get to that almost 85% mark, right before it dumps off into the valley, and it kind of stacks up heavy and falls off kind of hard. These are 85% let-offs. Personally, I shoot an 80, which will help that curve at the end be a little less dramatic, but it's not terrible. It's not bad. It's not something that I think takes away from the bow at all. The more you draw it, the easier it just becomes to draw. They are continuing to use this engage grip. Personally, again, I'm not a fan of this grip. It does have a nice rubber texture to it. The thing I don't like about it, it is a little rounded on the back. I like something a little flatter. If I purchase one of these Mathews bows, I will probably pop this off and use their engaged side plates. I do like those. It just feels better for me. I think grip is one of those things that if you're comfortable with it and you shoot it well, then it's gonna work for you. But let's shoot 2 more arrows out of this. This draw cycle, even though I said at the beginning it was a little humped at the back, now that I've drawn this bow 2 or 3 times, it's easier knowing that it's gonna be there. You can kind of brace for it. Can slow draw it pretty good. Come check it out down at Barefoot Archery here in Charlotte, North Carolina. Come see Jesse and the guys. They'll get you set up in one of these bows, have you shoot it. We'll get you into something that is comfortable for you and that you're going to enjoy and shoot well. These guys are great guys down here. My name's Jeff Cordero, and we'll catch you on the next video.